Get yourself comfortable and settled. One thing that's always good to do when we start is to notice who it is that's here. One way that we could think about that or look into that is to notice, kind of on a practical level, our body, our breath, what's going on in our mind, the thoughts in our mind. But there's that bigger who are we, a bigger awareness of what it is that's here that never changes, our being, our consciousness. That's always here. And often we don't notice our presence or our being because the thoughts in our mind are so loud, or the energy and sensations in our body are so engaging. And certainly fear, anxiety, those kinds of experiences have a lot of capacity to take our attention right into them. And as we become more familiar with ourselves, we have that capacity to calm our body and to really attune to our nervous system and the reality of our safety. So much of the work that we do with trauma is to keep ourselves in this moment in time, because in this moment in time, we're safe. And we can prove that to ourselves. We could look around and we could hear the sounds. We could just acknowledge that it's very unlikely that there's any danger to our physical body right now. If there was, we wouldn't be here doing a practice. So the sense of anxiety or fear or restlessness, anything like that, is a remembered response to our actual experiences. We're not in any way trying to say that we shouldn't feel what we feel or that it's not valid. It's completely valid, and it's a remembered response from danger or threat in the past. Some of that threat was physical, much of it was emotional. We were abused in some way, or we were isolated, not connected with. And now we've gotten ourselves to a physical safety. And we've come to a practice, this practice and other practices, where we really start to attune to and pay attention to and spend time in this awareness where we're not in danger. As you take a few deep breaths, notice what that feels like. You could lift your arms up if you want. Inhale and open up through the rib cage, and then long exhalations. Do something to move your body around a bit to open up the body for the breath. And we don't breathe in a large way like that, or we don't relax our belly as we breathe out unless we feel safe. So that's one of the ways that we work with this. We soften our belly. We let the breath become less strained. We don't hold the breath. It's smoother, more continuous. We take in enough breath to really nourish our body. And in a non-verbal way, we signal the body that we're safe. It's beautiful how our higher level of the brain can bring in a practice like relaxing the breath, relaxing the belly. And then it signals the primitive brain that we're actually safe right now. It's okay to relax our body, let our arms and legs come to resting. We don't have to go anywhere, do anything. We've set aside this time for resting. The mind body is one unit. It's not the mind or the brain, and then there's the body over there somewhere. And we can really see that for ourselves when we look at thoughts. If you were to imagine a time when you felt so relaxed, it felt like you were like melting chocolate in the sun. There's no tightness left in your body. You're completely relaxed. Just remembering a time like that might bring up a deepening relaxation in your body. And certainly the opposite is true. But right now, we don't have to go to that. We're doing a resting practice. Stay in touch with your breath. Notice your whole entire body and notice that our bodies take up space. The space the body is occupying is a thing. There's a location, there are sensory perceptions, and generally speaking, the sense of who we are, the sense of the body we're in, has a whole set of thoughts and sensations and sense perceptions attached to it. And it's in a certain space. Notice what's happening in that space right now. What are the sensations? And occasionally we have sensation in that whole space. Generally speaking, we have a lot of empty space and then there's some sensation. Notice that when we're paying attention to the space that our body is occupying, what is in that space? Usually our attention goes to something that's tight or that hurts. Our brain is really set up to notice that. And as we notice, we can soften. A lot of people have kind of that tightness through their eyebrows and forehead, especially if we worry or we're anxious. So notice that. If you were to bring your attention just to your forehead and your eyebrows, you could lift your eyebrows up, let them soften. Creates a certain sensation. Focus for a moment just on softening the forehead and those muscles that move the eyebrows. Thoughts are right behind the forehead. But instead of following thought, soften your forehead. We're giving the mind something to pay attention to. You could relax the muscles of your eyes as well, the eyelids, the corners of your eyes, your sense of sight. With our eyes closed or the gaze soft, the optic nerve can rest, as can the part of the brain that interprets images. Notice the sensations in the front part of the face. There's a sensation of breath, that air as it moves in and out of our nostrils. We have a sensation of our tongue in our mouth, the sensation of our teeth, our jaw. And sometimes there's a lot of tightness through the jaw. We're clenching our teeth, maybe. Notice your tongue. Let your tongue relax onto the floor of your mouth. Relax the hinges of your jaw so that you're not clenching your teeth. Notice under your chin down into your throat. And notice your neck, your shoulders, what's happening in that location. And bring your attention into the whole back of your body, from the back of your head, back of your ears, the muscles in the back of your neck, tops of your shoulders, shoulder blades down through your back, behind your hips and down into your legs, under your shoulders, down into your arms. And our actual situation is that we don't have to have any activity in our body. We don't have to be ready to move our arms and legs. We've already noticed that the location that we're in is safe. As we let ourselves know that, we could let our body soften, come to rest. And the mind might be arguing a little bit. Well, you don't know that for sure. But we can actually trust our defense mechanisms, our primitive brain, to jump right into action if we needed to. We don't need to be prepared for that in our body. We already are. And actually, the best preparation is to not use up our resources when they're not needed. The best preparation is to fully rest. We can restore our energy supplies when we do that. Bring your attention back to the front of your body and down from your face into your chest, stomach area, all the way down to the navel center, lower belly. And then let's focus on resting the whole body through our breath. And we notice what's going on with the breath as we start. Have we gone back into a contracted breathing pattern, or do we still have that kind of ease in the breath? A nice full inhalation and long, slow exhalation. And no matter what we find when we first tune into the breath, we could be patient and kind. If we notice that we've started holding our breath or if we're breathing more shallowly, then that's just an opportunity to breathe more deeply for a while. Not in an exaggerated way, but just to really get enough breath to nourish the body. And then to breathe out any remaining tightness or tension as on the exhale. We're resting. It's our only priority right now is to rest. And we could assign our mind the task of paying attention in our body. As we're breathing out, let ourselves fully soften. And if you're noticing that in your stomach area, notice how there's that expansion on the inhale. And then as we breathe out, our stomach settles back towards the spine. Everything softens. And we could stay anchored to that, just noticing the sensation of breathing and the movement of our body as it breathes. And the mind is often the part that doesn't want to rest, that one layer of the mind that generates thoughts. But if you notice that you've wandered off somewhere, or if your mind is generating any kind of anxious thoughts or worry about the future, bringing up things from the past, then we notice that. We could reassure our mind it's okay right now to rest. We'll think about all that later. We'll make plans. Right now, we're restoring our strength by resting. And then we focus in again on the breath and on softening the whole of our body, head to toes. We sharpen our focus so that the mind doesn't go wandering off. And anytime it does, we simply bring it back. As we rest and a lot of the obvious tightness or tension leaves our body, we could bring our attention to the more subtle areas. As we exhale, we could soften the forehead again. Inhale, keep the attention there so that we could exhale more fully, relaxing with each out breath. And we could apply that to any area of the body. Maybe for you, it's the belly, or maybe it's the shoulders or the back. We have a few more minutes left in the practice, so this is an opportunity to keep softening, keep resting. We notice how that feels. How does it feel to rest and build resilience and strengthen your body, to nourish your body with your breath, to let your mind settle? And whether we've had 25 minutes of complete relaxation or more likely for most of us, we've had moments of coming in and out of that. Notice now what you feel like compared to when you started the practice. Kind of run a little mental movie through the practice as well, if you like. What was going on? And remember the most quiet, maybe it was 5 seconds or a few minutes. Bring that back to mind, or opening your phone or talking with somebody, or and then when you're ready, open your eyes.